Why do girls ghost instead of being upfront?
Because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Women would rather tell you an excuse that softens the blow versus just coming right out and go on. You're the ugliest dude in the world. There's no way I would ever have sex with you. They're just not going to say anything like. There's no chance they're not going to say shit like that. They'll say things like, "Oh well, I'm not looking for a relationship," or "I just think of you as a friend," or. In this case, they ghost. If they ghost, because the other thing is guys think, hey, she gave me her phone number, she gave me her social media, she's got to be interested. And you guys, I would imagine, have had enough experiences where guys, maybe when you were younger, asked you for your number and you denied them, and they didn't react too well to it.
Oh, they're mean.
They get pissed off. Like, who do you think you are? You think you're better than me? Oh, you think I'm not good enough for you? That kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And so over time, after you have enough of those unpleasant experiences where the guys don't take rejection too well, what do? You give them a Kentucky guarantee, a little bit of false hope, or, well, let me get your number, or here's my social media, and you can, instead of giving out your phone number, you get things to make it easy to put distance between you and him, but not bring him in close enough to where you're going to have to put up with his anger or reject him directly, because, again, some guys just don't react too well to that.
Yeah.
So men have trained you to be this way. Because they can't handle the truth, in essence.
You can handle the truth.
They can't take the rejection like a man.
What do you do in that case, Chunky?
For me?
Yeah, when you get ghosted.
You just ghost them back. That's the easy thing. It's not like you send an angry message. It's like, say if you're going on a date and they're like, oh, my goldfish ran away. Mm-hmm. There's not all you can really do. It's like, you just do the same thing. You're just like, okay. You get your answer there. That's your answer.
If they treat you like a ghost, then be a ghost.
There's no like, oh, can we reschedule? You don't do that shit. You're like, oh, okay. On to the next.
Nice. No double text?
No double text, no.
No?
If a girl likes you, she's not going to ghost you. If she ghosts you, it just means you're not that important to her. And if you're not that important to her, never try to keep somebody who doesn't want to keep you.
I'd rather be ghosted than go on a date where she doesn't even like me in the first place and waste my time and money on a date.
Right.
That's a better option.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or having like a boring date where she's just like not have like.
There's like no chemistry. You don't really connect with them. You ask them a question. They don't ask you any questions back. You ask them a question. It's like a one-word response. They're like, oh, it's good.
Would you still pay for that date?
Yeah. But I would never text them again.
Okay.
No second date for that.
No second date.
And then you would go on another date after that one.
What?
I said, then you go on another date after that one.
Yes, with a different person.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a guy in a phone session recently where he had a first date with this girl he really liked. I think they went to dinner like around 7, and she's like, I got to be home by 8:30 because I got plans with my friend. And so he made the date knowing that she's got plans afterwards, and obviously women do that because if the date doesn't go well, oh, I got plans, sorry, can't hang out.
Yeah. Well,
so
maybe
if she's not super into you, that's when you'll get, oh, hey, can we just cut it short?
Oh, I gotta be home by like
I gotta be home by a certain time.
Yeah, and then if you get caught, it's like.
I honestly think if a girl said like
10 o'clock.
If you're picking her up, it's like I have to be home in like 2 hours. I'm like, stay home.
Like, stay home, really?
Stay home.
Okay.
I would have been like, well, we can do it another night if this. When you get that, oh, I got to be home in 2 hours. That's when you do the takeaway, because the takeaway is basically you're trying to find out, does she like me enough to really want to go out on a date, or is she just wasting my time and doesn't want to hurt my feelings? So you're trying to make it easy for her to dip. So when she's like, oh, I got to be home in 2 hours, then you just say, hey, well, we can do it another time if tonight's not good. And then you don't say anything. And if she really wants to see you, but something really did come up, she'll go, no. Okay, well, what time is it? All right, well, I'll still be ready at 7. Mm-hmm. Or if she's got she'll bring up rescheduling. But when you just say, hey, if tonight doesn't work, we can do it some other night when your schedule's more open. And if she just says, okay, sounds great, but doesn't ever mention anything about rescheduling, then you just let her off the hook. She didn't really want to go out with you anyways.
Yeah, that's the truth, because when girls say, I have something to do, they're just like, they're testing you to see how well the date goes. It doesn't mean they have something else to do.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes
and then that's when it's like their date, if it's going good. Yeah, exactly. If their date's going good, we're like, it's like 10 o'clock. I thought you had something to do. I'm like, oh, I told him next time.
Yeah, that's why you do the takeaway, so you don't go out on a date with a girl and spend money on her when you got no chance. So that's, again, if she's like, oh, I got to be home. And so if the girl's doing it if she likes you, but she's
not
worried
sure.
that she's not sure, it may not work out, then she'll throw that out there. And as a man, you're basically, what you're hearing back is, I don't really think your time is that valuable. I know you blocked out the whole evening for me, but in case you suck or the date sucks, I got something else going on I can dip to. That's basically what the woman is saying.
Yeah.
And so your attitude is going to be basically, well, if something's more fun than hanging out with me, I would rather you go do whatever else you got planned, and I'll go do something else. And that's why that takeaway is so powerful. That's why when you say, hey, if tonight's not good, we can just schedule it another time when your schedule's more open. You're not trying to reschedule it, you're just saying another time. Because if she really doesn't want to see you, she'll just go, yeah, we'll just do it some other time. And it's a real short response. And then she didn't even give a shit. And then you never call or text her again for any reason because she canceled a date on you at the last minute. Now she texts you a couple weeks later and is like, hey, what are you doing? Want to see about rescheduling? Then I would reschedule a date. But most of the time, when you do the takeaway and she just says, oh, yeah, let's do it another time, you're never going to hear from her again.
What if she has like social anxiety and a homebody that her social battery just drops after like 2-3 hours?
If she really likes you, she'll make the sacrifice and go out. Or
she like works all day and she's like, I really want to see him, but like not longer than 2 hours. Like I want to go home and sleep.
Well, again, this is the shit or get off the pot test, if you will. If you really want to see me, you'll keep the date. And if you don't, you'll be like, okay, we'll just do it some other time. So in other words, if you're trying to put a limit of 2 hours, oh, I'm really tired, I worked all day, I'd be like, well, why don't we just do it on another night when, you're not so tired. This way you can go to bed early or whatever. And if she doesn't really give a shit about seeing you, she'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just do it another night. But if she really wants to see you, she'll be like, no, okay, well, what time? Because, again, if she really likes the guy, she's not going to, well, what if he doesn't ask me out again?
Yeah.
But if it's typically when the interest is low and you're just kind of barely there, and she's like kind of, he's kind of cute, I guess maybe I'll go out with him. When she's like that, and she gives you that, well, let's do a 2-hour date, basically, and then you do the takeaway. It forces her to either commit and go see you or to dip. Because you want to spend your time with women who actually like you and want to spend time with you. And so those little subtle things, those work great in sales, too. If you got a client that just seems like they're kicking tires and they'll probably come and waste half your day just looking at stuff but not buying, they won't make a definite appointment with you because they're not really serious. So these are the kind of things that enable you to read between the lines and determine somebody's true intentions. Because talk is cheap. Money talks and bullshit walks.